Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave.
Triple H turned Oba Femi into a jobber since he's moved up to the main roster. Let's talk about it, right? Now, what I am surprised about is the fact that he's booked my boy Trick Williams, aka Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers. He's booked Trick Williams as a main eventer. We've already seen Trick Williams in the main event picture on the main roster. He hasn't even been on the main roster for a full 2 months yet, so that's a great thing. And listen, man, we seen Trick Williams, open up the show and close the show, right? He closed the show by, attacking Sami Zayn on Friday Night SmackDown. He was in the main event on the most recent Saturday Night main event. He was in a WWE Undisputed title contender match, a fatal four-way match between Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Randy Orton, and somebody else. Cody Rhodes or somebody else was in the match. Who cares, right? But Oba Femi, let's talk about Oba Femi, right? So let's talk about all of the things that has happened since Oba Femi has officially moved up to the main roster. Number one, Oba Femi is a free agent. He's not signed to Raw, and he's not signed to SmackDown, which means that he can go on any show that he wants, and that's exactly what he's done. We've seen Oba Femi on Raw. We've seen Oba Femi on SmackDown. We just saw Oba Femi at the AAA Lucha Libre match, right? Like, he's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But when you look at what he's doing on these shows, it's not giving main eventer. It's not giving superstar. It's not giving future champion. So he made his debut at the Royal Rumble, right? Now, I see everybody talking about, oh my God, man, Triple H made Oba Femi look like a beast. He eliminated 5 people. But who did he eliminate and how did he eliminate them, right? Braun Breaker was attacked by a hooded man in all black, which is most likely Seth Rollins. We can't give Oba Femi credit for that. Braun Breaker was attacked before he even stepped foot in the ring. Who else did he eliminate? Rey Mysterio, who's almost 50 years old. Rusev, who's a jobber, left the WWE, came back to just be a jobber again, right? What credible match has Rusev won since he came back? Who else did he eliminate? Zack Ryder, woo, you know it, another jobber who's in his mid-40s, approaching 50. These were not credible people that he eliminated from the Royal Rumble. So we can't give credit to that. That didn't make Oba Femi look powerful. That made him look weak. Then we had a situation where Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar were facing off with each other, and that's when I got hyped up. But what happened after that? Brock Lesnar suplexed him like he was a little baby, man. The fact that he suplexed Oba Femi that easy, this is a guy who's almost the same size as Brock Lesnar. Both of these guys are tall. Both of these guys are pretty brolic. Bro, Brock Lesnar made Oba Femi look like a child in that ring, man. And to make matters worse, Brock Lesnar eliminated Oba Femi. That made him look even more weak. And then what happens on the following episode of Monday Night Raw? We have a situation where, who was it? It was the War Raiders or somebody, bro. It's a tag team partnership. I think it was the War Raiders. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. So the War Raiders show up. Oba Femi walks into the ring, and Oba Femi just squashes him, right? Nobody wins the match. Oba Femi just pretty much beats him up and walks out the ring. Once again, the War Raiders are jobbers. We haven't even seen the War Raiders in like 3 months, bro. They're in the same situation the Street Profits is in. These are tag team jobbers that don't have no gold. Now, are they former tag team champions? Yes. But were the War Raiders ever in the main event picture? No. So Oba Femi beating up the War Raiders, he's supposed to beat up the War Raiders. He's supposed to. They're jobbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to remember, Triple H himself, before Oba Femi showed up to the Royal Rumble, Triple H compared Brock Lesnar to Oba Femi, right? Now, what did Brock Lesnar do when he had his first Royal Rumble? He eliminated The Undertaker, who was already a superstar at the time. He eliminated one of the biggest stars in the company, The Undertaker, and he won the Royal Rumble at his first appearance. That didn't happen with Oba Femi. Oba Femi wasn't even close to winning the Royal Rumble, even though he eliminated 4 or 5 people. He was not one of the final 4 to 6 people that was left in the ring. Logan Paul stayed in the ring longer than Oba Femi did. You know what I'm saying? So this past weekend, we saw Oba Femi show up at Lucha Libre AAA, right? And he pretty much had a squabble with Omos. Now, I like Omos, right? Omos is like, what, 7'4", 7'5". He's basically the same height as Yao Ming, right? I like Omos. But, guys, like, let's be serious here. Omos has not been on Raw or SmackDown for about three years now, right? Ever since Triple H came in and took over and Vince had to step down, Triple H hasn't done anything valuable with Omos. Omos had to go over there to Japan just to have a match. But for some strange reason, Omos is still signed to the WWE. He actually just recently signed a new contract with the WWE. But he's only showing up once in a blue moon on Lucha Libre AAA. He's not showing up on Raw or SmackDown. So Oba Femi shows up to Lucha Libre AAA and he pretty much gets the best out of Omos. Once again, if Omos was on Raw and SmackDown, winning matches consistently, winning titles, okay, Oba Femi beating up this 7-foot-something giant, okay, that's a good thing. But because Omos is a jobber that barely even shows up to any WWE events, because he's in catering most of the time, we can't give Oba Femi credit for beating up Omos, bro. Once again, when you look at everybody who Oba Femi has beat up so far, they're all jobbers. All of them are jobbers. And this makes me think that Triple H doesn't have any big plans for Oba Femi right now. I think this is going to be a situation just like Carmelo Hayes where Oba Femi's just lingering around for like almost 2 years before he gets a title. And whenever he does get a title, I don't think it's going to be the World Heavyweight or WWE Championship. I think they're going to give him like either the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. The fact that Oba Femi showed up to Lucha Libre AAA, don't be surprised if he takes that AAA title from Dominic Mysterio. Don't be surprised if he takes that Intercontinental Championship from Dominic Mysterio. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Now, Brock Lesnar is showing up on the next episode of Monday Night Raw next week, and Triple H needs to capitalize off of this, right? For those that don't know, John Cena revealed last year that Brock Lesnar is planning on retiring at this year's SummerSlam event, which is going to be in his hometown. Now, we already know that the person that's most likely to retire Oba Femi is going to be Gunther, right? Gunther retired. He retired John Cena. He retired Goldberg, and he just retired AJ Styles, right? So, Gunther is the guy that pretty much is just retiring everybody. Everybody who's like in their 40s, 50s that, is slowing down, doesn't want to keep wrestling. Gunther's the guy that's gonna retire them, right? But the person that should retire Brock Lesnar is Oba Femi. If you really want to help Oba Femi become a superstar, if he can retire Brock Lesnar, the Beast Brock Lesnar, the former heavyweight UFC champion, then it would be undeniable that Oba Femi is a star. And it would be undeniable that Oba Femi is the second coming of a Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. But you have to book him properly if you want the fans to actually believe that, right? So this is what I think should happen, right? I don't think Oba Femi should confront Brock Lesnar on next week's episode of Raw because it's too early, right? SummerSlam is during the summer, right? June, July, right? We're only in February, right? We're about to be in March, right? So what's coming up next is Elimination Chamber is coming up. WrestleMania is coming up. So this is what I think should happen. I think that Brock Lesnar should show up on Raw, and I think that he should be confronted by Gunther, right? And then after he gets confronted by Gunther, I think he should get confronted by Oba Femi. Now, They should have Brock Lesnar and Gunther feud for a month or two, right? And then there needs to be a situation where Oba Femi fights Gunther, and whoever wins the match gets to basically have a retirement match with Brock Lesnar. Obviously, Oba Femi would end up beating Gunther, and then Oba Femi would go on to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and then beat and retire Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't think this is gonna happen because we're talking about Triple H. Like, let's be honest, guys. Do we honestly believe that Triple H is going to allow Oba Femi to retire Brock Lesnar? We already know the rumors about Triple H. We know what his nickname is, right? Triple K. We know, right? We don't gotta say it, right? We know we know what Triple H is, right? Do we honestly believe that Triple H is going to do something like that? No, right? Gunther is going to be the one that retires Brock Lesnar. But like I said, what should happen is you should put Gunther and Oba in a qualifying match. You put over Oba, right? Oba should just, Oba should just squash Gunther. That'll make a statement. Just have Oba just beat the crap out of Gunther. You know what I'm saying? And then you have him go in there with Brock Lesnar, and you just have them guys brawl, have Brock Lesnar get the best of Oba, and then you close the show with obviously Oba Femi finishing Brock Lesnar and retiring him. That's what needs to happen. That is what needs to happen, bro. But like I said, man, I just don't think that Triple H is looking at Oba Femi as amazing. I think he's looking at Oba Femi as like a star mid-carder. I don't think he's looking at Oba Femi as a star main eventer. But he is, like, what's so strange is he's looking at Trick Williams that way. It's almost like Triple H heard one of my videos where I said, you know, Trick Williams, you know, is how people should be, how people look at Oba. That's how they should look at Trick Williams, because Trick Williams just got all the tools. He can wrestle. He's got the look. He's got the presentation. He got the incredible theme song, right? He's funny on the mic. He can be a baby face and he can be a heel. He can make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally has all of the tools to be a superstar. Oba Femi doesn't have all of that, right? Now, Oba Femi does have a good theme song. He does have good presentation, but he's not funny, right? He's a little boring, right? He can be a little cringy on the mic at times, a little, right? But Oba Femi is really, really good in the ring, right? I would even say he's a better in-ring wrestler than Trick Williams. Not by a lot. It's more so just based off of how big he is. Like, when you see Oba Femi wrestling, like, he makes it look more real than Trick Williams does, because Oba Femi is just a big, aggressive wrestler, just like a Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. So, listen, man. Triple H, bro, get it together, bro. If you fumble Oba Femi, if Triple H fumbles Oba Femi and turns him into a jobber, it's over, bro. I don't think people should expect Triple H to just help any young talent ultimately become superstars, man. Because you have a situation where you have a Braun Breaker who could become a superstar. You have a Trick Williams who was already on the brink of becoming a superstar. Excuse me, y'all. You have a Oba Femi who has the potential to become a superstar, right? I would even say Dirty Dom has the potential to become a superstar, because Dirty Dom is the biggest heel in the company right now. He's a bigger heel than Drew McIntyre, Gunther. Dirty Dom is a star, right? Whether you like Dirty Dom or not, whether, I know he barely wrestles, I know he hasn't even really defended that Intercontinental title, but the crowd likes Dirty Dom, and that's all that matters, bro. When he comes out, he gets a big pop, whether he's wrestling or not. The fans love Dirty Dom. I got people leaving comments on my channel saying Dirty Dom is a star. So whether you feel like that or not, I gotta agree, bruh. Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, he is currently a star. And if he continues to get booked well, he could become a superstar. I just gotta call it what it is. I think Austin Theory is another wrestler who has the potential to become a superstar. I love his new theme song. I like his new look. He shaved the head, right? Looks like a Temu Justin Timberlake, right? If Austin Theory could, you know, get a title, get the US title, and then eventually, you know, get one of the major world titles, and he gets booked properly, I can see Austin Theory becoming a superstar in the WWE, but at the end of the day, bro, if these guys continue to not get booked properly, they will never become stars. Everybody that's currently a superstar in the WWE is at least 40 years old. Seth Rollins, 40 years old. Roman Reigns, 40 years old. Randy Orton, mid-40s. CM Punk approaching 50. All of these guys are old, bruh. All of these guys are on the brink of being 45. Gunther, 40 years old. Drew McIntyre, 40 years old. All of these guys are old, bruh. Jey Uso, 40-something years. All of these guys are old, bruh. Another guy that I forgot to mention that could become a superstar is Jacob Fatu. Now, Triple H has done an incredible job at booking Jacob Fatu. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Jacob Fatu obviously is related to The Rock, right? He's related to The Rock. He's related to Roman, right? So there's a little nepotism there, right? The Rock is on the board of TKO, so they have to book him properly, right? But another thing is Jacob Fatu was already a star before he came to the WWE. The WWE, they just kept up the momentum, right? He came to the WWE, won the United States title in less than a year. Now he's in the main event picture, you know, going after Drew McIntyre's WWE Undisputed title. He will most likely win that title at WrestleMania in a triple threat match between Drew, Jacob, and Cody. So I will give Triple H that credit. He's done an incredible job with booking Jacob Fatu, and I could definitely see Jacob Fatu becoming a superstar within the next 2 to 3 years in the WWE if he continues to get booked properly. So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe. Please click that hype button. And most importantly, let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. Do you guys like how Oba Femi has been booked on the main roster so far? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave. Welcome to Stay Wavy TV.